Get into it.
Here we go. Game 3, day 2, week 8. The bus coming from the southeast corner, pushing across. It looks like a number of players potentially hitting Paradise and even the little Wild West town down there in the southeast corner. But a lot of players choosing to jump out and float to the north side. Lazy Links, Risky Reels, even Tomato Temple now that the temple has been built. Rest in peace, Tomato Town. A lot of these spots are pretty typically heavy in public matches, but we've said in the past, might not be the case this time around, but Aiden dropping Tilted, which it's looking like might be kind of a ghost town. He and Loomsy sharing this. Comes away with a hunting rifle to start and a full shield. And he did just make the promise, Jack, of 7 eliminations and victories both of these remaining games. And I said before, I'll say it again, I believe him. Seems like everyone's been scared off from Tilted from what they've seen earlier on, but in the other areas of the map, very popular landing spot, this Westworld, this outer town just outside Paradise Palms. So about 5 people per game landing here yesterday. Now it's Payday in an awkward engagement. He's down to just 60 HP as Tatlow is pushing for what could be his first elim of the game. We did see Payday had 0 building materials left, down to just maybe 5, 6 hit points. The sound cue there. Should have this, right? He should have this. There you go. And he does. Secures the elimination on Payday, another controller player, just like a number of other players we've seen here. But that push on the outside, you could hear he was waiting for the dirt sound, the footsteps in the dirt, definitely different from the wood panels on the floor on the inside. And that kind of knowledge, the awareness is extremely important. Sloth looking for shots down at the number of players in the residential side of Retail Row. Pretty common drop for a lot of players, home and native land here. But he's almost caught off guard with the shot at the top, but returns fire almost instantly and lasers Ultra down from the top of that building. And look at what he's got already. The healing, Chug Jug, minis. Vlad and King B looking for an engagement here. Gets the shotgun shot off, goes real, misses a shot on the way down, a second shot in midair. Oh. And that actually costs him the elimination on Vlad. It could have been his first one for the game, but Vlad eliminated himself via the ground, Jack. Via the ground, taking another victim. As you see, really, King B only had about 1 clip left of bullets for that engagement. Might have worked out for him there. Sloth, we just saw pick up 1 elim, a long drum gun fight, decides, hey, this is I'm no longer wanting to play this kind of 50-50. He'll reset, no! Bandit catches him off guard. Third-partied. Potentially some accuracy issues in there at certain points. Do you think it's nerves? Do you think it's the rarity of the weapon, Jack? What causes that? You can toss it up to a couple things. All I know is it's got to improve from him if he's going to do better next time. You see Bandit rewarded with the Chug Jug, and well, from 20 HP to 200, he's feeling real good and ready for another fight. Almost max effectiveness down here in Salty. This is actually a pretty common drop for Flower. He and I played it together in the past. He likes to go to Chimney Rock often and then push into Salty because there's a number of chests that drop there, and not very many players will land directly on Chimney and move into Salty. So you're Gorilla getting shots on Flower. 100 shield, 100 HP, not enough. Gorilla not even taking a point of damage there. Picks up some minis. He's in an excellent spot here now. That's one of those positions in those houses where you just kind of bounce up and down, use that jump straight, and Flower didn't even know where to look. He was caught off guard. Next thing you know, he's above him. Already 2 shots have gone out. That's why, in those scenarios, I really do like that consistent output of the TAC shotgun. We just kind of popped into Ada for a second. Yes, he has 0 elims, but the man's already got 1,000 material in his inventory. Fantastic for so early in the game. Tilted a pretty common drop in the past to not come out with a whole ton of material especially if it's a very heated drop. But those pallets in the bottom of the new building are a common farm spot. Those pallets, they're so good for harvesting wood. So he's here. He's actually one of the players, I believe, last round, depending, hopefully we can gather some info on this, but I believe he's removed a number of very competitive players from the game. I think he's looking to try and do it again here. What that edit and build. What a maneuver, Jack. He replaces the edit, jumps out, and places a surface all during one jump. So fast from these players, and he's trying to stay ahead of the movement of his opponent. This is actually going to be tough trying to edit away. Brilliant engagement so far. That's Airco. Bouncing back and forth. You see just outside Fatal Fields. What an elim this could be. This would be his first one of this game 3. Remember, we are just playing 4 games
in these late night qualifiers. So you get to the point where people are going to have to make some desperate plays if they want to get on the board. Grenades coming on in. Cease again immediately reacts and responds accordingly. Edits coming in from either side. Love the focus on this fight right now. More grenades being thrown. Cease deciding to play this low ground, falling on down as Erico continuing to listen, try to spot where Cease could be.
So on the top right corner, basically a wide angle shot of the engagement as it happens. The spectate tools, Jack, for this are incredible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're getting angles that we have not gotten in the past, something like this. But a cut over to Nazgul versus Bizzle. Bizzle, as we said before, very common to see him put up big numbers, and Nazgul catches the raw end of that long-range tack shotgun shot, gets the elimination. I'm back over here to Cease. What a spray down! Erico getting eliminated during an aggressive push up the ramp. But they met face to face and had SMG. It'll just tear you up.
That was kind of his last-ditch effort right there, I believe, and unfortunately doesn't go his way. Here's a look at Grenadier Jake. Grenadier Jake, sorry.
Grenadier Jake?
I don't know.
Grenadier
I'm making
Jack.
stuff up. I'm making stuff up at this point.
This is just east of Junk Junction. This is a pretty common drop in competitive games too, because it's not labeled, and there is quite a bit of loot out here. Plus the metal. If you
100%.
You're in an opportunity to, you have an opportunity to rotate into Junk, which has tons of metal to farm up, and metal is super important in late game competitive games because it has the highest initial HP, starts at 110, which means out of the gate you place it in front of an opponent, you have just a little bit longer to put yourself in a better position. Ooh, dualies shots from Lennane, someone we kept our eyes on here, the accuracy, and he needed it and he got it. Wow. See these drop downs. That is a very, that's a common tactic from competitive players. They'll put the walls during a fall.
Common tactic from top-level pro players. Yes. Not common from anybody else, as that's one of the tougher things to do in movement.
Pacifist catching Gorilla off guard there. Back over to Jake. This metal gonna come in handy with that high initial HP. Gets the shots and gets the elimination on Megalomaniac. They were stuck on top of each other, and Jake took advantage of it, even though he's at low resource. The low material count is kind of it's a cue for a lot of these players to either choose to push or maybe to back out. And Jake said now's the time to push. He's got 2 eliminations, puts him at the point where 1 more will get him a point. But right now there is only 1 player. C9 Bandit has 4 eliminations to his name. Low HP currently. I believe he's, based on what I'm seeing on the board in front of us, trying to pop a medkit to push his health all the way up. But 1 more elimination will get him 2 points for this game. He's the only one right now with any elimination points.
Crashy bouncing around, trying to chase his limit of the storm, and he's doing this. Oh my gosh, and you see the frustration. So here's why he does that. You're thinking, no, why are you pushing into the storm? It's because he already had 2 limbs. He basically went for it all, pushed on in, tried to secure that third limb to get 1 point. Kevy greets him as he opens the door with a shotgun, and well, unfortunately for Crashy there, Kevy comes out on top.
A moment ago, Bandit, actually our top elimination player, was just eliminated himself.
Here's the look.
Loomsy versus Aiden, back and tilted. And Aiden actually gets caught off guard. Goes out game 3 with 0 elims. What you have to remember, folks, it doesn't really matter because he's guaranteed, I would say at this point, to make it all the way to the grand finals on Monday. I don't think we've seen any emotion from him thus far, win or lose, to be honest with you.
He showed more motion golfing to a golf hole that wasn't even there on the mini golf course. Than when he was eliminated there. Shows his thought process.
Talking about earlier, Bandit, the most eliminations and not even alive anymore. Boyer now securing 3 eliminations, full HP, full shield, which puts him with +1 point based on elimination count, and he's the only other player right now with 3 or more.
See all the epic rarity weapons there in the weapons tab. I love that. Multiple epic assault rifles, multiple double-barrel shotguns. Spades, you see, actually jumps as he gets hit there. Was not expecting it. Looking for potential pyramid, doesn't actually get it. Trying to build again for the high ground. I think he's secured that for the moment, but again, quick little edit actions from both sides, ramping above his opponent, trying to match these builds, trying to keep above. Gets chunked again by the shotgun. It's looking more and more like this is an unwinnable battle. Unless he can go for the quick reset, can't get the shot off in time. Still these edits, trying to match his opponent's build. Does get a tag there, not too much damage though, as he'll just reset and probably pop some minis. No, he's going to keep going.
Still pushing. This is aggressive gameplay. Spades almost getting pyramided out there. Catches a shot on his opponent who's trying to drop down.
Now he's got to go for it. Now he's got to rush this fight. He still has multiple remote explosives, if that's maybe the outlet he wants to take, but Spades slowly dropping down, and no! No!
Spades.
No!
It's actually going to cost Joystick an elimination. Spades died of his own volition there as the structure was going down, which, I mean, Joystick right now at 0 elims, even getting to just 1 for tiebreakers would have been fantastic. He's still alive, though. He has quite a bit of healing. He can buffer up against anybody that happens to push right now. You see the vending machine. Some players hopefully taking advantage of those. There's a med kit available in there as it was rotating through, but hopefully Joystick saw it, because if he didn't, he's missing out on another 69 HP. Getting to 150 could be key.
He needs mats before he can even do anything with it. He only had 45 medals, so can't even purchase it yet. We'll see an update later on how that all plays on out. Kevy earlier on got that shotgun limb just on the edge of the zone, continuing to watch his back. Is that C9 Shizzy? Okay, that is. He's going to fall on down.
The fall damage and the shots from Kevy coming together and putting him in a pretty rough spot. Plus the zone's moving in, so he can't really take a breather right now. He does have 10 bandages, but he might not have time to use them.
Oh, that's not going to help either. Takes even more damage.
Kevy takes advantage of it, secures the elim. That puts Kevy here at 3 eliminations. That's plus 1 point. And he's sitting pretty with healing. He's got an excellent loadout. That's a gold AR, the drum gun, it's blue, and a purple heavy shotgun. A lot of players would kill to have that setup.
Oh, I think this is done for Asteria.
That looked like potentially a bad weapon swap in there. I think I saw the pickaxe come out immediately after the edit, and I would bet he's trying to go to a shotgun.
So you'll see so many times when players get in these little builds, they start breaking down every wall that's not theirs because they want to have the ability to edit whatever's around them. It's happening right there. We did just cut away, but that's exactly what the player on your screen was doing. It's because you want the ability to control whatever happens with those walls. Unfortunately for Asteria, he was in that 1-by-1, but the player who was pushing him got control of the wall, had the ability to edit it, and Asteria had no quick answer.
Bottom right there, third-party shots coming there from Lassie's excellent position. Looking over Lazy Links on the map there for a second, you saw a lot of players getting pushed in there from the east and southeast side. Even Loot Lake right now is going to be, there's going to be a lot of action there. As you see here, we cut across here. Look at the number of players built up in basically little boxes around each other. Backboarding behind Ranger. No fall damage, no explosive damage, but Ranger brought down from above, fighting underneath.
Siege just got nailed by remote explosives. Ilchaz one below him. Gonna go ahead and break on down. Not there quite yet. That's an edited pyramid. As he just lost the high ground. Just like that, he just lost the high ground. And now the whole script has been flipped. He's got no builds. He can't go up there himself. Ilchaz basically just hoping that Enigma kind of forgets about him, I think. If you're wondering, you know, why is he using an SMG there? It's because he's trying to break through that wall because he's low on AR ammo. This was actually, well, you're going to see in a second who does lose this fight.
Vide versus Myth.
There goes TSM Myth to Vide.
Vide immediately got shot afterwards. I'll try and check to see if the elimination happened on him, but Myth is a name that we've been watching for to show up a little more often in the feed, and it hasn't happened too much yet, but these qualifiers aren't over yet. We've seen players come from even just the last game and drop a big elimination count, get high placement, and secure a spot in the grand finals in the final day.
Enigma just peeking from up top. Staying at this build. Again, you see these top players, they'll do this fall where they place the walls and the ramp to follow. Quickly disengages.
A minute and a half. The storm rotation happening now, Courage, and this is going to cause a lot of engagements to happen between these players. Carlos getting caught off guard, actually catching an opponent off guard, gets Cease on rotation. He was just kind of crouching in his box, waiting for movement from his opponents, and that's exactly how things played out. It's a very forward-thinking movement there. He didn't have to move early. He had enough buffer time against the storm, and the opponents that he was potentially captured in by, they had to move earlier. They were closer to the storm. He just had to wait.
Storm moving in, everyone having to react. Chuck Nasty staying alive, building 1-by-1s on the left side of your screen. You got Jay Cuddy still alive. We saw him get cut down last game with that shotgun as Kuptra trying to force the engagement. That was down onto Rex. So many tactical shotguns being used, and I'm liking him more and more.
That's 3 eliminations right there for Kuptra. Puts him +1 point, which is huge. If you reference yesterday's qualifiers, he could be in a great position already. Your Saint, a player we've seen a number of times here. Caught off guard in Tilted last round. But right now he's at the top of the hill, the southwest corner of the hotel. A very top-down view of a lot of players. And he's got a couple friends right underneath him. Looks like Tendons is sneaking around the base of that tower, too. Materials aren't terrible for a late game engagement. 500 can keep you alive for quite a while, but if you start getting aggressively pushed by somebody, it might not be enough.
Quickly editing that roof. This next zone, I'm actually really interested to see where it lands, because if it starts to go up towards this mountain and players have to push this high ground, we know what happens, Lupo.
Pacifist gets caught off guard there.
Whenever that comes into play.
There's going to be a lot of players that get scraped off on that mountain. The storm it is ruthless when it comes to positioning sometimes.
General of 4 limbs. Just panicking in that 1-by-1, trying to get those minis off in time.
We got Linane flying in from above. Look at the top of that tower, seeing if we can make a play. Potentially pushing for elimination soon.
Tien has a big shield still to use, not electing to pop it, with it only really giving him 34. Maybe waiting until later.
34 to me, Jack, feels like enough that using the shield now, especially because the rotation will happen soon, I feel like it's a better call to just use it and get as big of an HP and shield buffer as you can.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Logan, see how weak he is at the top of that build. And now is when it begins to get awkward as Bumboy takes down Colton. I love the reactions each time. It's like, oh, nearly had it. Oh, United's Ashton is actually still in this, as well as CLG Wish. So some of those bigger organizations still with representation late here in a Game 3. Again, we appreciate everyone tuning on in and watching the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. This is week 8, the final week of competition. Everything culminating here at PAX West. $1.5 million on the line for players on Monday. 33 will qualify from this qualifier tonight to earn their spots in that grand final.
You see movements like that, the FPS flips the ramp orientation in order to put himself in a position where he can peek shoot over the top of those. He could have backed up the ramp and potentially had an angle, but changing the direction of the ramp is key. And you see a lot of players just flipping those super fast. The left side of the screen, the density of the players is this final circle closing before the movement starts. 26 remaining, and the FPS, the only player with 5 eliminations. That's 2 points for him secured right now, which is huge. And he's trying to stay above his opponents. Don't burn too many materials, though, in my opinion, because a rotation may happen for you as well soon. And unless you catch somebody moving and can get their materials, whatever they drop, which may not be a lot, you're maybe burning through your own defenses too quickly.
There are currently 3 players at 4 elims, needing just 1 more to get that extra point.
There's one.
There's one of them.
Wish. Lassie secures his 5th elim, gives him 2 points. Wish shouldn't feel too bad about that, though. He had a point of his own. I believe that he had 3 eliminations before that. We have Saint there, top of the tower. He's got 2 players below him. Kuptra, who actually earlier we cut to him, hit a pretty good snipe. We had another player underneath him, Tendons. Both waiting, kind of biding their time for rotation as the circle. This isn't terrible, but the players at the top of the mountain, they're going to have to move in a little bit. This is the structure in your top right that you see all 3 of these players. As Saints looking out, trying to catch somebody on rotation. This is last, just pushing the B-side of his elimination just before which.
That's how Lassie's got to 4. Jeez, an entire AR clip with that little ammo. There you go.
Catches Ash on the outside, the rotation in.
You know those moments in Fortnite where you're like, okay, all right, I'm up through his shields. Come on, he's got to be at least a little bit weak, right? A little bit weak. No, he had to fight for every bit of HP. 200 health gets shredded on down there by the AR.
It's actually, that package is extremely close to Kuptra. Potentially an opportunity to push for it. Kuptra looking like he's just underneath 100 HP. A body shot from a bolt action will take him out. A well-placed shotgun shot can take him out. Maybe going for that.
It's been about 1 minute and 18 seconds from that last elim. Finally, the FPS got one onto Ilchaz, who we actually referenced earlier, didn't have many materials, was in an awkward spot, just sitting at the top of that build. Does finally drop. Here comes another zone move. I believe Satan left to go maybe down the mountain a little bit,
just
or no, play the high ground? Okay.
Just a tiny bit. Now, I would stay as high as possible. Yep. It's low enough that you're not panicking about fall damage, but there's a chance that after the circle closes, if he's got the forethought for it, the circle might move south, but it doesn't really matter either way. Look at his ammo pool. 33 small rounds, 8 shotgun shots, and 12 medium ammo, 2 impulses, a launch pad. He's scrounging ammo. Even these taps, these little one-off shots, might be a little too wasteful. He's got to really think about
every bit counts.
Forced engagements are going to happen, and you need every single one of those shots.
Lassius now with 6 limbs. Can he get this med kit off in time? If he does, he's in a brilliant spot to keep on playing aggressive. There it is, back up to 150 HP. He is quite far from that next zone, and Lupo, this is what we were worried about, that next zone on the mountain.
It's going to scrape a lot of players off on the east side as they have to push across, especially the ones that are furthest from the zone. Now, the FPS, he was eliminated earlier with 6 limbs of his own, fell 1 short of the 7 for the +3. Lassius is at 6 eliminations and is still alive at 150. He could secure that 7th elim and get 3 points of his own right now.
100%.
Now's the time for some of these players to rotate. Daequan very, very low. We have a stack of players here. What's the play here, Jack? How do you wait? You have 14 seconds before you have to move.
Ooh. The wall goes down just as the rocket connects, and look at Severi's health now. 14 HP. Edit comes in. He's just going to have to go for it. I don't think he has time to heal. Marksman's still alive. There's another rocket. That was a Marksman of the frustration as he rips off the headset. Here you go. Everyone moving in. Marksman getting cut down. He'll place the bounce pad to try to move on through. Everyone's got eyes on him. There he goes.
7th elimination for Lassius.
7. He's done his job. He's done his job. Even if he drops now, he's done his job. He made it in the top 10. He got the 7 limbs, and there's the people now dropping to the zone. Can Cuddy make it on through? I believe he will.
There's 3 players left. Saint's still alive here, very high up, but look at his ammo. Courage, look at his ammo. 4 small shots and 7 shots. You're running on nothing, Saint. He might have to switch and pickaxe somebody to try and win this thing if he's not lucky.
Imagine if he actually won with a pickaxe. I'd be done.
There's no bonus points for that, folks, but I feel like there should be.
Someone get on it. Someone get on it. Oh, that's the awkward thing. It's not even like he can hope for the 3 limbs. Here's Tendons with 0. So basically just playing for placement. He's already earned himself 2 points just by surviving to top 3. He's low on ammo too. He's not got a lot to work with either.
Shots from Tendons burning through potentially what he has left. He and Saints both in bad positions for ammo, like you said, and the next rotation is happening. This looks like it might be a push up the hill. He might not be worried about the next zone. He might be going for an elim here to get that, try and push himself to 2nd and maybe a win. Gets the shot, Tendons gets it. And Saint with basically nothing left. He had 5 shotgun shells. 5 shotgun shells, and he plays it flawlessly. Recognizes the scenario. I cannot really fight a full-fledged fight with how little ammo I have. I've got to look for a third-party engagement. This is his perspective. He hears them fighting. He hears, you know, damage being traded. Okay, doesn't get down a limit. Would have been nice because it would have actually put him at 3. But in the end, all he cares about is that victory royale. Secures it there, and that'll put him in a pretty position, Lupo. When we take a look at our standings later as he